Hi, this is Lisa from savingcentbycent.com. Today I want to talk to you about 4 tips to get out of debt. The holidays are now over, and I know many of you are probably in debt, in credit card debt, from the holidays, trying to buy all those presents for your family and friends, or you just might have other debt that you've acquired over the years. And so, with it being the beginning of the year, I want to share with you tips how to get out of debt. I want to first share a story with you. So when I was in college, for the most part, I'm a very frugal person, and I saved up money when I was younger so I could go to college. In college, I was on the 7-year plan, so it took me like 7 years to get through college, but I did. While in college, it was close to my last year, I had completely run out of money to be able to pay for tuition, and I hadn't wanted to take out a loan, but I knew at this point I would probably need to take out a loan. So I ended up getting a loan my last year of college it was close to $2,000. I stayed here in Utah, close to my home, so I could pay in-state tuition. So it was less expensive than if I would have gone out of state or chosen a more expensive school. So I did try to decide on a school that would be a better financial option for me. Anyway, so when I graduated from school, I had a few $1,000s in debt. And I know for a lot of you'll be like, I had $15,000 or $20,000 of debt. But it was debt, and I knew I needed to be able to pay it back. I was finally able to pay off that debt quite quickly, just because I was focused on making sure to get it paid off. And I know that might not apply to everyone. Like I said, a lot of you might think, oh, a couple $1,000s of debt is not that much. Some of you might say, I have like $50,000 of debt. But the tips that I'm going to share with you today are tips that you can apply these principles to being able to get out of debt. And so let's talk about that now. I just want to mention that when you don't have enough money to pay the bills and you continue to accumulate debt, it becomes a burden. It is stressful. It's just so nice, it feels so good to be able to get out of debt. Now, to get out of debt, it's going to take sacrifice, discipline, and it's going to take hard work. But in the end, it's going to be worth it. And once you get out of debt, you'll have the financial peace of mind. It's nice to not have any debt. Luckily, my husband and we are on the same page financially. We talk about our finances all the time. And right now, we don't have any debt except our mortgage, and we are working to pay off our mortgage as fast as we can because we don't want that debt either. Now I'm going to talk about 4 tips to be able to get out of debt. The first tip is to fix the root of the problem. You've got to change your habit of spending. You've got to stop living beyond your means. You need to figure out what is going on and to be able to make some changes in your life. In order to get out of debt, you've got to get the whole family on board. Get together as a family, sit around and talk about what it is you're trying to do, that you're trying to get out of debt, and you all have to be committed to want to get out of debt, and everyone's got to be on board. The kids need to understand that you're not going to be able to do some things over the next year or 2 years so that you can get out of debt as a family. Then later on, you will be able to do those fun things as a family as you save up money for them. If you and your spouse aren't committed to working on getting out of debt, then it's going to be really challenging to get out of debt. You both have to want it. Recently, I read Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover. Right here, you can see it. And I'll put a link to it at the bottom of the video. If you're serious about getting out of debt, you should read this book. I know there's lots of good books out there, but this had some good ones. And as I read it, I would read sections with my husband that I felt like applied to where we were in our financial life right now. There's a section about a cheetah, that the cheetah, when it's going after a gazelle, is very focused and gazelle intense. It's focused on that gazelle, it wants that gazelle. And just applying that to our life. Now, my husband and I, just when we are talking about finances and sometimes we want something, we'll both say to each other, gazelle. Because we know we're focused on one goal right now. We're focused on trying to get our house paid off. And so sometimes we do without some things so we can put more money on our house so that we can get out of debt faster. The second tip I have is to get organized and figure out how much debt you have. So get all your documents together, write down how much debt you have for everything, and do a system that works for you. There's lots of systems out there. We use an Excel spreadsheet. I know there's other finance programs that you can do to help you out. And be sure to do this with your spouse so that you both can see and understand the system that you're using. So once you have all your documents together, then you're going to write down these things: what the debt is, the total amount you owe, the annual percentage rate, so the APR, and how much you pay each month. You'll get those 4 things written down. Now you're going to rank your debt from highest to lowest interest rate. If you have a few smaller debts, even if they're low interest rate, place them on the list first and pay them off quickly. Once you're able to get a little debts paid off quickly, it gives you confidence and it helps you keep going. Then you're going to pay off the highest interest rate, and you're going to use a debt snowball to get rid of your debt. What you'll do is you'll pay off the small debt the most quickly, and then you'll take that extra money that you were using to pay off that debt and you'll roll it over, or you snowball it over to pay the next debt. Let me give you an example. You'll get that credit card of $400 paid off quickly, and then that money that you were using to pay off that credit card, so whether it was like an extra $100 or $200 or whatever it was, you'll take that $100 or $200 and then you'll put it on the loan in addition to the payment that you need to make on it every month. Tip number 3 is to review your plan regularly. If you don't review your plan regularly, then you're not going to end up getting out of debt. You need to check to see where you are. You need to set time each week to sit down with your spouse and talk about where you are and how far you've come along, and to talk about, what areas you could do better. It's just like a goal of wanting to lose weight. You wouldn't set the goal and then not work toward it and not review how you're doing. You would work out multiple times per week and then each week check the progress, check to see how you're doing. And that's the same with a goal of getting out of debt. Don't set the goal to get out of debt and then hope it happens and then hope every month that you reach that goal. You need to set smaller goals along the way, set weekly goals. I'm going to take this extra $40 or $50 and put it toward the debt by the end of this week. So you need to set smaller goals along the way that are doable, and then review your progress regularly, which is daily or weekly. The more often that you look at your plan, your goal to get out of debt, the more likely that you won't overspend. Tip number 4 is to save money and to cut expenses. To help to change your spending habit and to live within your means, you'll need to create a realistic monthly budget. What you'll need to do is list all of the bills that you need to pay and your necessities, and make sure that they're covered by your monthly income. So focus on the things that you need and not those things that you want. Right now it's going to be hard to be able to do that, but down the road in a few years, it's going to be worth it. You need to prioritize which expenses are most important to you, and then decide if there's additional expenses that you can get rid of, like extras on your cell phone, cable. Maybe get rid of that, or get rid of extra channels. Try to save money on utilities such as electricity and gas. Turning off your lights if you're not in the room, adjusting your thermostat to be a little bit cooler during the winter, or not run the air conditioning as much in the summer. And cut down on your discretionary spending. That means eating out less rather than eating out. Take that money and use it toward your debt. Buying new clothes when you don't need them, more pricey vacations. You can do a fun family vacation on a budget. You'll want to learn to use cash instead of credit card. From each paycheck, take out cash that you need and place it in envelopes specifically listed, like as mortgage, utilities, grocery, etc. One example I want to share with you is that around March, we take money out of every paycheck and we put it in an envelope to prepare for Christmas, because we don't want to be in debt after the holidays. We want to be able to pay cash for our Christmas. We determine how much money we want to have set aside by December, and then we calculate how much money we need to take out every month and put it aside so that we have enough money for Christmas. And really, you can do this for anything that you want to do. If you have a vacation coming up, figure out how much money it's going to take and to save up for that vacation. Of course, it's best to pay off your debt first and to take any extra money that you possibly have and put it down on the credit cards or the loans or whatever you have. Anyway, those are my 4 tips on how to get out of debt. I'd love to hear you share any experiences you have or maybe tips that you have to get out of debt. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, bye.